Hello, welcome back to my Roomsgame tutorial, and in today's video we're going to be focusing on summoners, but first I have some things to fix, and some more things to add, so grab your template entity, and then we're going to go into speed handle, and add a bool value, we're going to call ink RPS on rebound, and that's gonna do what it sounds like, and another value called RPS ink reb for increase rebound. And then I'm going to go into here, and then first I'm going to go down to the after the for ix loop and check all. No, after the bottom of check. Right before it ends, we're going to tween. We're going to tween the int with a speed of 1, I think, and a position of vector3.new int dot x and dot position dot x cur dot value dot nd how nd obj dot exit dot position dot z, and then before that put int dot position dot y. What position dot y, comma, and then wherever there's task.wait revh dot rebound delay dot value, we're going to add a if spd h dot inc rps on rebound dot value, then spd h dot rpm plus equal spd dot rps dot value plus equals spdh dot rps inc rebound dot value. And that's all we're going to do. And then we actually need to, first of all, you may or may not have noticed the new entities I added, because I was getting bored. But for now, we're going to remove the int handle from A105, paste it back in, hit play, get out of client, into server, select this, and set its value to, let's just say, 104. I forgot to tell you, I forgot to clear it. That is why. Look at all those A16. that is not going to work because we need to copy the rebound handler. Sorry, not rebound, speed handler from int template and delete it from A105 and paste it into, except I don't know how fast A105 went, so we're going to undo that, see how fast, delete it, and then we're going to repaste it, and then we're going to set RPS to, that's RPSI to back to 5. And then we are going to run. And then check this. Delete it before A40 can reach it. Because A40 will open the doors. And it looks like A40 already opened the doors. So we're just going to delete all this. And then we're going to run it to bring me to the current room. Which will not happen because I need to kind of define player. Laboratory 120 already due to steady guy. Oh, my dad's here. I'm gonna go say hi to him. I am back. Literally every second entry that I want to see. Oh my god. Oh yeah, by the way, as a setup for getting the spawners to work, you want to add a value into every entity, and should be spawn color, and it should have the color that you want the entity to be when the entity calls it. So yeah. I can run from here? I didn't know that. A25 is the slowest entity in the game, going at 1.5 RPS. A10 goes at 2 RPS. A105 goes at 5 RPS. A60 goes at 6 RPS. A40 is an accelerator. And the question is, did that code work? And the answer is, I forgot to play the tween, I think. Maybe. I hope so. Is that position right? No. This should become... I need to swap int.position.x and that. So we're going to set that to x and type in int.position.z, and then we're going to, since we modified this, we're going to copy this and paste it into int template. So yeah, and then I'm going to go down here and add a workspace dot spawn int clear all children, and that hopefully should prevent the entities from spawning, or when they do spawn, they'll just get destroyed, to be more exact. And then wa-boom, wa-bang, wa-bang. I'm going to temporarily drag int template into there, and I'm going to have it check lockers and rebound to make sure that this is working. My goal is to try to get the entity center on the door, but not go exactly to the door, so it does not cause a false rebound like another A100 entity from another game. Here comes. And it has not worked. They're still not in line with the door, so yeah. Why is this? Back up this 3 new current position and have position on the right and dot position Z play. Maybe we need to. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Task dot wait. 1 maybe, and then also for the also I need to go down here and also put this where despawn center is true. I also need to put a task dot wait 1 since twins do not make the script yield. And hopefully that should work. I hope. I plead. Yep, and that seemed to fix the problem. Now, does it fix the problem if I undo rebound, undo check locker, and I say despawn center, but with no despawn cooldown? That should have been at 0, because the entity template should always have all of its values to default, or default for your game. So yeah. Seems I've put it. Yeah, that's fine. And that, I'm going to drag that out of A, and that will be good. Then I'm going to duplicate this and say int template dot summon, because I might have to mess with the core entity script. I am actually going to have to mess with the core entity script, and we're going to call this int summon handle. Because before, just in case, before, if I'm going to actually add a value under the script, and I'm going to make a bool value, and it says destroy after. No. I don't have to touch. I do not have to touch. No, I do. Destroy after summon. UMMON. And that is it. And then right before this int.kill.enable, I'm going to actually have another value, a number value. I'm going to call it sec to spawn, and I'm going to set this to like 5 or so. And before this is where, right here is where I want to put the spawn int core. But first I need to make the functions for it. Function summon SUMNON. I cannot spell to save my life. Then I'm going to make another function get int, and that is going to be it, I guess. And then get int is going to, I'm actually going to add a, no, I'm not. As we know, all summoners are most likely going to summon entities from under their own thing, and we're going to assume that they're going to do the same. But if you want to make them summon above, although I do not recommend it, you can, I guess, but you're just going to have to figure that yourself out, because, get int. And we're going to say local int equals game dot replicated storage. And then we need a string value. String value is going to be summon from stacked. That's going to be a for now. Dot entities. Sorry, not game replicated. Server storage. Dot int entities. Dot a. Get children, which is going to be. No, I'm going to copy this. Copy, and then paste this under, and we're going to go say temporary value, because that's what it is, and we're going to set this to script dot sect to spawn. And then int, we're going to say if int is a why is that not working? Probably because I want to go up here and say model. If int is a model, then else return get int, which is how you set up a recursive function, because when it returns get int, it will run function get int. And this should actually be a random value, so we're going to change this to int pool, and then local int should just equal int pool square brackets math dot random 1 comma number or whatever pound, if you will, int pool. And I'm going to change this to int chosen, so I do not confuse it with capital ENT. We're just going to replace those. And we're going to temporarily set the int chosen temporary value to, let's just say, our good friend A60. And then if int, I'm going to set a local f equals int chosen dot find first child quote entity part. And then we're going to say if f then else return get int. And then we're going to say this time f equals f find first child quote spawn handle. And then we can copy this whole entire thing and paste it into there, and then change this to spawn room spawn. Then we can actually define a local rs equal nil for now, and then we can no, we don't have to do that. We can go if we can do the typical if f then else, and then we can say return no, before that we're going to want to say if int chosen dot find first child dot quote spawn color, then else, and put an else error quote int has no spawn color, comma outside of the thing int chosen dot name. Else we're going to return f comma int chosen dot spawn color dot value, I think. And then in summon we're going to call local int chosen comma no, we're not going to put this in summon. We're going to actually put this in a function called summon effect. And then we're going to put whatever, local int chosen comma int call equals get int. And we're going to, while we're up here, we're going to minus out the temporary value. Yeah. And then I'm going to make a tween dot colon create. Now the thing is about for the int template, we actually want it to have a specific point light for summoning. So we're going to delete, and we're going to call this one, going to set it to like a range of 20 or something, and we're going to call this point like summon, summon, because I do not know how to spell. We now create int dot summon, point length summon, comma, tween info dot new. Let's just say we're going to put in summon to task dot wait. Maybe script dot int. Sorry. Script dot what is spawn? Oh, sec to spawn. Sec to spawn dot value divided by, let's just say 3, and we can copy this, put it down here. We can take this and put it into tweeninfo.new, and then comma, my bad, I accidentally messed up my tween. We're going to set this to I'm thinking color COLOR equals int col. I'm going to actually go here and set this to model and set int color to color 3, and this should be it, maybe, possibly. You'll see why I split it off into a couple functions. And we're just going to, in between these two test.waits, we're going to, first of all, no, and then we'll have you return int chosen, actually. Then we can have local. No, we do not want it to return int chosen. We actually want to take this and put it into here, actually, and then just have int color as a color 3 be taken in as a argument and summon effect. You'll understand later. And then we will type summon effect int color. And then we're going to say if script dot destroy after summon dot value, and then I don't need to put equals true because I'm pretty sure it automatically does that. And then script dot parent dot destroy, and then hopefully this should work. should wait. You should yield. Except I actually forgot to call the summon function, and I'm going to actually set you so you actually are from the front, and you're going to have a spawn offset of negative 30. So you're near the entrance of the new what is wrong? 152. Local int pool. Just game, not server, script, not service. Oh, I forgot. I just simply forgot to put dot value. And we'll just bring your spawn offset to negative 20. And we'll drag you into A so you can spawn naturally at door 5 so we can properly test you. Might add sprinting in this episode. Might just give you the script for sprinting in this episode. You could and it appears I put the wrong value in there. I'm meant to put summon from sect, not sect to spawn. I mean from sect and not sect to spawn. So yeah. And I need to actually, number 1, this, and number 2, what were you trying to summon? There's no, did you turn cyan? I'm colorblind, my bad. We're going to do int chosen, I need to forgot a line, int chosen dot clone dot parent equals workspace dot in dot spawned ints. And we'll deal with sounds and stuff later, once we actually have the whole entire thing going up. And that reminds me, first of all, I need to play this. Second of all, I'm going to copy, paste this, go int dot face dot int dot image label. Sorry, int face image label dot image color 3. Then I can copy and set this to image color 3 too. And I need to remove that image color 3 from there because yeah. Because I did not mean to add image color 3, it just turned out to be convenient. And why is my computer not charging? What is that? Oh, I need to return int, not f. No. Chosen int. Or int chosen, actually, not F. Wow, that could have ended bad. I'm going to save to Roblox. I'm going to save to Roblox and then plug in my charger. The int code for summoning minions and summoning entities is almost the exact same, except that for summoning entities, you want the crazy effects, but for summoning minions, you usually don't. Looks like A40. Except I forgot to go if F and F dot value is less than SPN H dot room spawn dot value. I put room Sean for values and didn't notice for like 2 episodes. Oh wow. Now, since this is below A10 and A10 is the first entity, it should only be able to spawn itself, I think. Or just not spawn anything. Yeah, it just can't spawn anything. So it's just gonna sit there. Or timeout, actually. So, yeah, it should work. I'm going to copy this template. I'm going to drag this template out and make you an actual entity. How about let's paste you into here, and let's call you, I don't know, A135 maybe. And then I will leave everything the exact same and give you the spawn color of white, just in case you get summoned by a bigger entity. Except I do not want to do this yet because I said that I was going to do, except you can probably figure out how to add your own sounds, right? Yeah, I think you can, if you want to add sounds, you can do that, but I'm not going to do it because, you know, we got more important things to work on. And I've taught you enough. Surely you can figure out how to play a simple sound. And we are going to, I think I'm going to first focus on the thing, and you should do 0 damage, and I should not have to worry about you, so we're just gonna leave you there. We're going to do the typical scary face searching, which I will change in the future, like I've done for all the entities that exist, except the multi-monsters, because it's fine. It's usually okay if the multi-monsters use marketplace faces. What would look like a good summoner face? Besides A300. Maybe. Maybe this one? then we can paste you into here. Maybe then I'm going to go into face effect, give you an offset of 5 only, and give you rotation of 10, maybe? Not 109, that's too much. I'm going to set a... Now I'm going to focus on sound, since I do not have a jump scare to work. Since I do not have a jump scare to worry about. So I'm just going to search down here and see if there's anything good. Oh yeah, I am recording. Sometimes I fear that I'm not. I'm recording nothing for thing.
One.
Maybe something like this. Except have these two values reversed. Oh god. Ambience. If you don't know what to add to your entity, ambience is your best bet. If it's songs, I'm just going to ignore what the description said. Sound. You're not going to hear the sound for long, so it's okay if it's not the best. I'm going to set your spawn handle to room spawn to 135. And I'm going to leave everything else alone. So I'm going to go into here. I'm going to go down here. Down here. Select this, change this to 134 maybe. So yeah. Looks like a rogue A60 spawn. And the other guy spawned another A60. can only imagine what's happening. Oh my god, I got rid of that one. Looks like they feel like spawning A60s. And I should probably update A105's code, so with the door lining. A60 again? What is wrong with it? And I'm going to actually add another thing into. Yeah, first I need to copy, paste, and second of all, I'm going to add another attribute. Actually, there's this thing that A300 does, and it's called spawn int close. But we cannot do that because the ints automatically position themselves. Now, I'm going to Control D this, drag it into here, and call this, rename this from entity template summon to entity template minion. Going to have set the spawn. We do not need these two anymore. We do not need this anymore. We're going to have a folder and call it minions. In this folder, we'll have a object value, which is going to be, can literally be named anything, but we're going to call it minion1. And for right now, I'm just going to set that as our good old friend A60. And we're going to move your spawn column alone. We're going to go into here. And then I am surprised there is no errors. First of all, we're going to get rid of getInt because it is not necessary. Second, we are going to actually put it in a. We're going to actually get rid of the whole entire function. We're going to destroy summon effect. We're going to get rid of that because that is also not needed. So yeah. And then we can do an summon. We do not need any of this, I don't think. And then we can actually go up here and make a value called muggle flip or something equals false. We can go down here after this and say if int. This is for A120 summoning, not A278 summoning, because I'm going to do that later. Int, yeah, if int dot position minus cur dot door, cur dot value dot nd obj dot door, door is door in no door dot door no we can just go exit dot position, select shift while click there to select all of this, hold shift while going to pressing 9 to automatically put parentheses around that, and then we can put after that dot magnitude is less than, let's just say 10 or 5. Then we can we can set, and we can after the 5 we can put and flip and not flip actually, which will run if flip is false or no. Flip equals true. I'm going to add a value under scripts, which is going the bool value that's going to say no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add a integer value under there saying spawn int and minions amount time, and let's just say 1. And then in the script for I equals 1 script dot spawn minion amount of times dot value do for I comma x and I, except we're going to set this to an underscore I pairs int script dot minions dot get children do x dot value. Hopefully they're all object values down there. Object value x dot value clone dot parent equals workspace dot entities. Spawn entities. And then else after the great if. What are you yelling at me? Oh yeah, 1 equals, not 2. But else after is dot position blah 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 magnitude and not flip, we're going to set flip to equal false. I think. And then set flips to false down here. Also, I think. And hopefully that should work. So when int template minion, I should change this to int template minion spawn. If when we reach this, it should spawn 1 A60. So yeah. One A60 once it reaches the door, I hope. Except you were coming from the front, so that can never happen. We're going to set can rebound to true and set front to false, since this is a minion spawner. And minion spawners are most known for rebounding. So yeah. and that is more A60s than intended. This is because the debounce failed, which is what flip is, so we're just going to remove this else statement. And hopefully it should work. So yeah. And still, that's a little bit too many A60s. Spy Minion amount time. 1. You actually read. This is because I should probably revert those changes and separate these, so instead do something like this. If flip equals, if not flip. Something like this, maybe. And then hopefully it should work. And then, yay, 1 A60. Is up 2 A60s? Why are you alternating in between 1 and 2 A60s? That is weird. I do not know why. I will just consider him a bonus A60, because I genuinely have no clue why that is happening. So we'll just shove you there. I'm not going to make a summoner empty entity for now. And instead, what should we do? We still have maybe about an hour left. What should we do? And maybe I can already do at least Ragers and maybe AimBotters. Which should be easy. What I call a Rager is what a Rager is what a 183 from Interminable Rooms is basically, he goes super fast, but if there's a player that is not hiding, he slows down until he hits the door, I think, and then he speeds back up again. So, and int template, we're going to add another script, a loose script this time, and we're going to call it Rage Handler. And before that, I am going to have a scream sound effect, which can just be this slow down a bit, because I'm lazy. Maybe 0.2. Remember this? And then we can do find for. We can set first game dot get service quote run service dot heartbeat connect function for. We're going to, before that, we're going to define a local called local ply hidden to true. I'm going to change this to all hidden. Then we can do for I, comma, ply player n I pairs game dot players dot get players if player dot character, then if player dot character dot find first child hide then player dot character find first child if player dot find first child dot hide dot value equals false, and then all my bad 2 equals all hidden equals false. And before we have this giant thing, we can set all hidden to true. And then we can say, because it's easier to find if a player is hiding than it is to find if a player is not hiding. Well, it feels easier, but it's probably the same, but I don't care. I'm just going to assume all players are hidden until proven otherwise. If all hidden, else I'm going to have 2 values under this script, which is going to be init or norm RPS and non hidden RPS, which I'm going to set to 0.2. And then I'm going to be like script.parent dot speed handle dot RPS. Sorry. Let's spawn speed handler dot RPS dot value equals script dot norm RPS, and otherwise it's going to equal the not non-hidden RPS, and then hopefully stop with the double equals if you're not defining an if. So we're going to test this server storage, not server script services. And we're going to walk. And hopefully it works. And look how slow he goes if I'm not hitting. And there is something wrong. It appears I forgot to once again put dot value behind all of these. Because I am a silly little guy. The silliest of all. That's actually a very bold claim I just made. So yeah. So you should be going slower. And when I hatch, you should speed. I think that is what happened. But I'm going to copy this. And we're going to paste you into it, and we're going to give you the name A160. And we're going to set all of your colors, my bad, all of them, to, let's just say, a beautiful pinkish color. And then I'm going to go to the int.template and make rage handler disabled by default. And then I don't even have to change the speed because the script is going to do it for me. Let's just say we're just going to leave this 0.2 and let's just say 25 or so. We're going to give you the rebound behavior. We're going to set your rebound to, let's just say, 6 to 10 rebounds. I usually like getting the logic out before the actual thing. I'm going to have a room spawn of 160. Then I'm going to go back to what I was originally going to do, which was select all of these and make them the pretty pink color. Because everybody knows that pink is the color of power. We're going to select the two images. And we're going to, once again, find a creepy face. A scary, creepy, scary face. And the, halve. We're going to say, scary face. We're going to go to page 3 this time. Maybe I will make you a single-headed multi-monster, maybe? But first, I'm going to change this face effect to, let's just say 20, and a rotation of 160. And let's go into our good old trusty A60 and copy the face change, paste it into here, I'm going to, I think that face would look good. Maybe this one, maybe this one, and this one. And that will be it. And maybe I will set change on both of these to 0.3, 0.3. I'm going to open up my asset folder. I'm first going to change these to those faces, and I'm going to actually set this to similar colors. And then what particles should they have? Maybe these ones. Now I've just realized this, we also want if player.character, we're going to add a new value to range handler, and we're going to call it, it's going to be a number value, we're going to call it range detect. We're going to like set it to maybe 1000. We're going to say if player dot character dot primary part dot position minus script dot parent dot position is less than script dot range detect, and then we can continue, and I also need to put dot magnitude. And I need to change script.range_detect.value. Value. And that is, I'm going to copy this, put it into .template, and disable it. And then time for sound time. Going to get rid of spawn sound. Burn it. Whoa. What are these? Guess I'm just gonna use this one. I have no reason not to. Play sound. Maybe this. And this maybe. Yeah, that sounds good. Oh god, that was loud. Is this A332's jump scare version? Yeah, I think it is. That's funny. Why does my spelling suck? CREAEN. Why am I saving it? I can just publish the Roblox. Because I have not shared this with anybody yet. Where am I? Oh yeah, I kind of forgot to add the screen logic. Let me do that real quick. First of all, I can change this to warn. If script dot parent dot warn dot is playing, else no, I can do if not script dot parent dot warn is playing, not. Then script dot parent dot warn play, and hopefully that should do it. I'm just going to copy this. Going to paste it in here. I'm going to disable rage handler. So yeah. Hopefully everything goes well. So yeah. So the silly one should have spawned. Aren't they so polite, waiting for me to hide? And except I'm going to go into the rage handler. I am going to what am I going to do? Oh yeah, if all hidden, then I'm going to task dot wait one maybe, and then no, I'm going to do what am I gonna do? I want it to basically only happen for 1 second before resuming back to normal. So maybe we can set a variable called local deck equals 0 maybe. And then we can deck plus equals 1. And like do if deck is lower than, let's just say 100 maybe, and then like maybe something like that, and then task dot weight 0.001 maybe. Maybe 0.01, not 0.001. And then if all is hidden, we can set deck to 0. Maybe something like that. Except I have now thought of a more efficient way of doing that, so we can set deck to false. False. Not deck. Task.weight 1 maybe? Task.weight 1 deck equals true. Or something like that. And then hopefully it will only, what's wrong? 24? Ah. Now hopefully it will stop. We'll slow down for like just a second before continuing moving. Or something like that, I hope. Oh god, what is that kind of horrific sound? I'm going to, actually before that, I'm going to implement something called fall handle. This will go into the character script. It will be a local script called handle fall. Game dot get service. Sorry, get service. Quote run service. Connect. Wait, sorry. Dot heartbeat. Connect function. If first of all, local char equals script dot parent dot, no, not script dot parent, game dot players dot local player dot character, and then if char dot primary part dot position is less than workspace dot, what's it called? Oh, fallen parts destroy height minus, let's just say 10. Then char all of this, and hopefully it should work. Just in case I fall out of the map. Hopefully I do, or did. What is wrong? Well, I attempted to compare a vector 3 to a number. I should put dot y after position, and that will fix it, I hope. But I have died for some reason. This is because I think this is client side and not local side. So we'll just delete this. Go into server script service, put in a script, call it the same, ball handle. Instead of putting char in there, we can put x. We can paste it into here, and we can set up a for I equals, for I, comma, ply in I pairs game dot players dot get player. Get players. We can set char to pli dot character, and then we can cut this out and put it into if char. Then we can run that, and that should be it. File, and hopefully it works. Yeah. Appears to be an A16 away. I don't know if that's working or not. Was that? Yeah, I think that's within 1,000 steps. Yeah, I think that's working. And if I tele to a current room, and remember back in it's a success. Um, um, uh, and I just realized for the whole entire video, this was not set up. So, like, oops, my bad. Or it somehow got unset up. So yeah, I think that's going to be the end of the video, and I will, should I do, yeah, I'm gonna do AimBotters actually, right now. Yeah, like right now, once I get this properly configured. Why is that return? I'm gonna set you to like end or something. And yeah, it's working. And then anyways, AimBotter time. The cheetahs. The cheetahs. Cheetah, the horses here. Sorry. To paste a template into here. And we are going to call it in template aim bot. And we are going to we're going to copy some of the code from the rage handler. We're going to copy that, and we're going to shove it in a function. Up here, we're going to call it function player hiding decision. We're going to paste it into here. Control V. Oh my gosh. We're going to local, and we're going to do local closest equals math dot huge. And then basically, if a player is unhidden, we are going to check. We're going to get rid of this check and instead replace it with if entity int dot position minus ply dot character dot pos character dot primary part dot position dot magnitude is less than closest dot will equal player dot character dot it will equal this. I'm going to get a local and call it closest PLR. It's going to be set to nil. And I'm going to change that from PLR to char. Except that we actually do not need that because we actually have the position. And then right after this, we can return all hidden, comma, closest. I think. Yeah, that should work. And then we can go into to current. We can set local is hid, comma, closest to equal get I'm sorry, what did I call it? We're going to actually rename this to get closest play on hidden PLR. Get closest on hidden PLR. And local target can equal this, but if is hid, then, if not, if not is hid, then targ can equal this, except instead of having this, it can be end dot position dot 0 vector 3 times new dot 0 0 0. Then we're gonna set you to like a value divided by itself. Multiplied by current dot value. That value is going to be L, and local L is going to equal something along the line of int dot position dot z minus closest dot you return. Yep, you return a position. So yeah, closest dot position POSITION. No position dot z maybe. And this maybe works, but I'm not sure. If entity position is 15 and player position is 20, then it will travel the wrong way. But if entity position is 20 and player dot position is 15, it will also travel the wrong way, so it should be actually closest dot z minus entity position dot z, I think. We do not have to target the direct player because of the way that we wrote the script. And hopefully it should go something like this. I hope. Except that you need to be math.abs L And hopefully that should work. We're going to make you harmless by setting your DMG to 0. And making this to false. And setting you to front. And then hopefully it works. I hope. What happened? Oh no, that's supposed to be int dot position. My bad. And I completely forgot to remove the range dot detect because we do not want range on this. I don't think we do. This is good. The entity is following me on the Z position, but what happens if I hide? Then they leave. And then what happens if I set you to a rebound? This seems to have worked. And also, typically people want a timer. Timer script. And it's just gonna basically say task, don't wait. I'm going to add I don't know, let's just say math, not random. 30 to 45 seconds, which is usually average, but you can come in here and change it if you want. Script.parent.destroy. And that's going to be disabled by default. And right after kill is enabled, we can enable it to script parent dot timer script dot enable goes true. Going to file, publish, or save if you already have a copy. And yeah, I mean, if you already posted the game and don't want the update leaking. So I can just pull him here. It should be spawned. You should this time making it about about 30 seconds actually. Like 20 to 30 seconds, because that was obnoxiously long. Or you can just do something, which you don't usually do, but you can make it have no timer and despawn naturally, like I'm going to do with my A200. I'm going to copy this. Actually, first I'm going to put this in a I'm gonna put this in an if script dot parent dot find first child quote timer script then, so I can delete the script and not have it run, but have the main function run still work. You know what I mean, probably. Then we're going to paste you into here. We're going to name you A.200, and I'm going to show you something cool you can do with the speed. I'm going to set your RPS to, let's just say, I don't know, 100, maybe. RPS INC can equal 0.05 or so. I'm actually going to set it to, yeah, 0.05 is good. And I'm going to increase every rebound, and I'm going to do something that I'm going to set this to negative 110 as a experiment. So hopefully, in theory, A200 should come from the back. Zooming, slam, hit the door, pause, not move, and maybe even go backwards, and then as this value, RPS INC increases it, it should start speeding up and zipping away. And I'm going to set speed up EXP to true. You're going to spawn on rim 200. You are not going to come from the spawn. And you're basically going to have everything. I'm going to remove those. You can basically stay the same, since I am happy with your point lights and stuff. I'm going to go into Toolbox. I'm going to type in wind, because I'm going to do the sound first. How unusual. Wind. ambience, maybe something like that. I'm trying to look for the woo sound that you always hear. I'm actually just going to go into the magical asset manager and steal it from my other A200s. I have an Insidia. That's cool. You. Yeah, that's the one. But first I'm going to design the sound. I want a 200 to contrast from other A200s, and that being violent. More violent than most A200s. We get rid of one. And then I need to check something. I'm going to actually come into here. Control C, Control V, sorry. Control C, Control V, and give them another play sound. And this for close. And I'm going to do the same thing but for A6E but later. You are not the sound that I want. I want D pawn. As you can tell, A200 is one of my favorite entities. Now it's time for the actual the visuals, yeah, visuals. That's what they're called. Then I'm going to go in here and take a 60s face change. delete all the screws out of it. And temporarily, since I do not have the time to show you, I do not advise this because it is called thievery, it is theft. I'm going to go into here, and search up some A200. A200, something like this. I'm gonna actually search up something like Insidia, Insidia or something like that. Now I'm going to actually use the A200 faces from my A200. I will probably replace these. So I'm going to actually use my own A2. I'm going to reuse assets. Scary. Temporarily though, I hope. No, you need to become white 255. And I'm going to oh yeah, going to what? I thought I copied the ID. Oh yes, there it is. I'm gonna set you to white also. I'm going to give point light for a range of 120, probably. And for I'm just not gonna have any particles, I think. And I'm going to shrink your face so like 6 or something like that. And then I'm going to make you have a offset of, let's just say 30 and a rotate of 45. So yeah. And besides the jump scare, I think that's it. Yeah, and for the jump scare, I'm going to have you just black, white, black, and then white, black, white. White, black, white. And that is it. Besides the jump scare, which I will just copy this and make it more violent. And hopefully, I have done everything correctly to have my perfect little A200. Usually, your Room Fans game is considered quote unquote worse if you do not have an A60 nor A200. I've seen this opinion from multiple people on comment sections of other videos. So I am not pulling it out of nothing. And it appears that I have missed a 200. Rebounds. I need to disable you and a bot. Rebounds. What? How did I die? Oh, it appears it has failed to index my position, which is probably happening because of the cosmic amount of lag. But hopefully that does not actually matter in game. So yeah, here we go. A 200 time. And also a 10, I guess. You are not a 10. Why are you making such strange noises? Might bring you to a 0.8 also, so it sounds more like wind. Maybe bring you down a reverb. And maybe just have the spawn looped. So it goes woo, woo, woo. Or all of them. And I do not like how A200 actually behaves, so I am going to actually go hard code it. I am going to actually go hard code it. Equals 0. Equals 0. And then just to be consistent, I am going to set your initial RPS to 0. And then I'm going to go back into the game. What do you mean attempt to index? Maybe subtract by 20 instead of 10 or something. Heck, even 30. What happened? Oh yeah, it's probably because I set its RPS to 0 when I should have set it to like 0.001. Why you know what? Why do you have your timer script enabled? I'm going to delete. Oh my man, I am not in normal mode, not testing mode. Let me out. Boom. I'm going to delete this timer script. I'm going to uncheck spawn. So yeah. And might as well, while I'm here, make a 60s close sound, which is going to be loud as per a 60 fashion. But I only set it to like 100. Beautiful. We're gonna set YouTube to 1. Yes, as in beautiful A60 fashion. The ear-curdling scream. Yeah, I'm going to actually do something like this instead. god, the lag, let me go. Why didn't you clear? Bam, smooth transition. Wow. I need to actually play it in the script. A200 is completely harmless right now. Snapping to the grid. You want me to open the door for you, A200? First of all, I'm going to make enabling you and enabling you, and then I want to go to A200's end handle and figure out why you are taking those steps. I know, it's because of this multiplying. It's because of that multiplying, which I need to remove from both of them, I think. And hopefully that solves the grid snapping issue. And I also need to do that for entity template, AimBot. And hopefully that works. And I need to go to A60 and actually play the sound. That the lovely A60 sound. How lovely A60's sound is. So beautiful and romantic. Just kidding. That is literally the opposite. I should have probably not shown that. Everything is a seizure warning here. do you go? Why'd you self-terminate? Maybe I need to do something like. No, I can keep those. I could keep those because if the person tries to pass them, they'll think, haha, I broke it. And then when they try to pass it, they'll get, obliterated. Is there a Control Z? No. And then I need to go down here, go down to spawn, and then prevent it from looping. So yeah. Anyways, back to A200ing. Somebody here? I don't know. Somebody might. Maybe something like, yeah. But why is your ambience not playing? Oh, it is playing, but A200 is just going too fast? They'll be like, oh, I can pass them, and then walk, and then die. And then do that again. They're gonna slink off into the distance like this sleazy, sly, slick thing. And then, yay, we've completed 3 out of the 1 objective we set out to do. So, yay! So, that's gonna be it for today's video. And, see you all again in the next tutorial where we will, maybe do portal entities and the little guys. The roamer entities. Yeah, the portal and the roamer entities. So, like, maybe. So, like, yeah, this is the end of the video. Bye. See you tomorrow, maybe? So, bye.